Welcome to the Grid Research Summit. Tell me your name, who you worked with, and where you were working at.
So my name is Hunter Hale. I worked with Dr. Youngblood, was my local advisor and my remote advisor. He actually traveled to Rouen, France with me. Rouen is a little town just northwest of Lyon in France. And I worked with the Gamer 7 Corporation. They produce the UrbanPad software that does procedural city generation.
And your name was again in what university?
Hunter Hale, David Hunter Hale from UNC Charlotte.
Super. Tell us a little bit about your research problem.
My research problem, I am investigating better ways to generate urban representations, or representations of urban environments for character AI, game AI, simulation AI, with obvious applications towards military training, any kind of training, any kind of disaster simulation, disaster mitigation efforts, research.
Cool. And tell us a little bit about the methodology that you used, maybe the data that you tested or generated.
My input data were these procedurally generated, on-demand generated urban environments produced by the UrbanPad tool from Gamer 7. These can be built using GIS information or completely randomly. And I would consume this data, and I'd generate a navigation mesh. That's a spatial breakdown. You can see sample ones here and here that represent all of the walkable areas that characters can move around. So if you were to load up Gamer 7, if you were to load up UrbanPad now, you would see empty cities. And I'm trying to add some life to these cities. So two problems that I dealt with primarily, as well as a few others I also addressed, is how do we decide which navigation mesh we want to pick when we're modeling an urban environment at runtime. Traditionally, you would have a software developer build the urban environment, build the environment, and select a mesh from a list. If we're building the urban environment at runtime, there's no software developer shipping with the box software. So the box software has to pick what mesh is the best. So I addressed the question of how do we select the best mesh at runtime through a series of metrics I created to evaluate navigation meshes. And I also worked with a better representation, looking at the affordances or the traverse methods provided by different terrain types. So you drive on the road, you walk on the sidewalk. You don't want to drive on the sidewalk generally. So previously, navigation meshes consume all terrain types equally. My research, I figured out a way to actually look at the geometry data, the base geometry, without doing any kind of image processing, and such that I can generate a navigation mesh where all the grass is unique, all the roads are unique, all the sidewalks are unique, but these meshes still fit together. Also, the hardest problem I had to deal with was crosswalks or other areas that would appear in both representations. Turned out you just deal with those separately as special cases when they come up, identified by the user. And using these metrics and the advanced or the more accurate representations, a lot easier to get characters moving around navigation meshes. And this work all appears in my dissertation.
Wonderful. Tell us a little bit about where you think this research work should go. What future work do you foresee?
So you can see I still don't have characters moving around fully. So I want to do urban simulation, urban planning. I have some previous work I've done on dynamic navigation meshes. So if a building collapses, or a building is damaged, or roads undermine, and bridges collapse in a storm, say, you can actually simulate or model how characters would react to this in real time, or possibly simulate, update emergency responder planning, emergency responder deployment patterns using this real-time altered cities.
So tell us a little bit about your international experience.
International experience. First off, I went to France. Everyone told me before going to France, pretend you're Canadian, they don't like Americans. Not true in the slightest. I have never really encountered a more welcoming group of people. They made me feel really at home. A wonderful place. Loved working with Gamer 7. They had a very tight, very small development group. I was able to just hop up, walk down, just talk to the guys in the next, not even cubicles, just open plan office desks. The next desk over, ask any questions I needed, more than happy to help me. Really got me involved. Also, one of my premier conferences in my area was held in Bordeaux, just down a few hundred miles over. CI-PIRE provided me the opportunity to attend there. And just wonderful, loved it, would do it again. Never traveled before this, never done any international, never left the country. And it's an amazing opportunity. I'd totally do it again.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. It's great work.
Thank you.